Hey, Mega Moms, Jessica Hensley back this afternoon, and I want to introduce another speaker panelist that we have at the conference, Britney Sandburn. Shanburn. Oh my gosh, I even said it right before we went live. Like,
It's perfect. You just call me Brittany like Spears. I think that sticks.
okay. And so Brittany is actually representing a mortgage company that we have come to be acquainted with and really respect. And I love like the out of the box ideas that I get to hear from you guys. And so we talked about it and we decided that we would love to ask this company to be a sponsor of the Abundance Conference. And actually, Brittany, we've actually had several reach out to us since I spoke with Fabian first. And I was like, nope, that spot's already claimed. We already have a sponsor. So
You're honored.
um, so yeah, we're really excited. And so of course, this is a mom's conference and a woman conference. And so he's like, I don't want to be the only man in the room. I have this amazing partner, Brittany, and so you're going to be the representative. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hey, Mega Moms. I am so excited to get to meet some of you and connect with you. I know we've been chit chatting in the group a little bit, everything from like where to shop at, shout out to Ann Taylor, to some of those lending questions. And I'm hopeful that you'll be seeing a lot more of me with the podcast. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I have a very unique story. So prior to jumping into licensing myself and getting into mortgages, I guess client facing, you could say, I actually trained at the largest wholesale lender in the country. And I'm guessing you've probably seen that name on some of your documents or at the closing table, UWM. And my focus there was training loan officers and processors on how to be their best to hopefully serve all of you. And then I was able to make that shift and actually be client facing and work with realtors and borrowers, buyers, for whichever route we want to go myself. So that's how I got into it. But it was definitely a long journey to get here.
Awesome. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of your prior history, but I will say that when we spoke, I mean, it's been in December, I believe is when we spoke last. You had a really unique perspective, and I feel a very positive outlook on the market and just how you can serve our clients best. So, Brittany, you know that we're hearing a lot of naysayers out there and a lot of doomsday theories about the interest rates and the market. So, what are you guys seeing right now for strategies that are helping buyers win in today's market?
Really great question. So, rest assured, my real estate mega moms, we are not predicting in 2008. Now, with that being said, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't promise you what the rates will or will not do. However, we are anticipating them actually to start trending back down a little bit into the spring. Now, I wouldn't get your hopes up for any like 2.5% or threes, but I'm hoping like five, right? That's a nice normal range. In the last week, we've actually seen a little bit of an improvement, which can make a big difference. So it goes further into what you really are obligated to know on the real estate side of the transaction. But those points, loan points or basis points is what we call them, they improved earlier this week by almost 100 of those basis points, which can be, depending on your loan amount, a pretty substantial difference to your clients. So we will talk about those creative solutions, and I don't want to spoil it all, but the buy downs, 3-2-1 buy downs, are all of the talk right now in the industry. And are they a good fit for everybody? No. But are they a good fit for some? Yes, absolutely. So that's one thing we'll get into. But otherwise, I would be optimistic that the market's moving in the direction that's going to help create a better environment for all of us in the industry.
Ooh, I like that. So when you say better environment, you probably mean, I'm just going to put words in your mouth. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But do you mean that we're not going to see like the overinflated prices and the bidding over asking and all of that? Yeah. So kind of going back to the normal find a house, you have a time to think about it, breathe for a minute, and then make your offer.
Yes, absolutely. And again, hard to don't hold me to all of this, my friends, because it does fluctuate. But yeah, absolutely. I know we all probably remember and maybe are even missing those days where you could actually negotiate a property and the adrenaline rush you get from going back and forth and that purchase agreement. And I think we're trending in that direction already. I know me personally, on a lot of the loans that I've been writing, I'm seeing seller credit come back. That was obsolete there for a year or so. That wasn't a thing. And then the home values are also decreasing just a little bit. They're kind of leveling out. I would say about 5% is what we're seeing in our area. We'll see what happens as this year goes on. But with those two things aligning, where interest rates are kind of settling down a little bit, cooling, maybe starting to come down a little, and then those prices not being so inflated, and on top of not having crazy bidding wars and having to go far over asking just to get an offer accepted, I think it's going to push a lot of potential, we'll call them homeowners in the making. I think it's going to push them over the edge and give them a little bit more power back to be able to bring that dream of homeownership and make it a reality.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I do know most markets where the first time home buyer was almost like out of luck, right? They couldn't, either they were priced out of the market, or they, the sellers didn't want to take the low down payment type loans. And if you didn't have 20% or cash, then it was like, well, too bad, so sad, right? Or like appraisal gaps and all of the things. So I do know one of our programs that we run, one of the ads we run is a first time home buyer program. And it's not really a program, but what it is more of is a lead generation tool that we use to get a list of names of buyers that are interested in buying. They haven't purchased before, but they, for whatever reason, haven't been able to get into the market. And so we connect them with a trusted lender in our area. Unfortunately, Brittany's not in Kansas, so I can't send them to Brittany, but maybe soon. But we connect them with our lender, and I mean, we're able to connect anywhere from 5 to 10 first-time home buyers to our lender every single week.
That's incredible. And that's going to give me another push of we're trying to work out licensing in Kansas. We've been expanding across the country. We do have quite a few states that you'll hear more about. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. And it's powerful because when you're talking with first-time home buyers, and I'll have to go back a little bit. Prior to mortgages, I actually worked in bridal. I managed bridal shops and worked with moms. But what has really been a blessing to me from that experience into this new industry is remembering that this is emotional. And when you're talking to a first time home buyer, while you do have the technicalities and nobody really wants the mortgage payment, they do want the home. They want the dream. They want that experience and that I said yes to my address. So when you're able to captivate them and give them solutions, because again, a lot of my clients, what'll happen is they're overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. They've heard, oh, well, my credit's got to be ABC and I've got to have so much money. And it's not always the case. There's a lot of options if you have a good lending partner. So, yeah, I love that. I think that you're capturing them early on and then you're just solution focused. So you're helping bring that dream and that goal into a reality. And there's no better value that you can offer somebody than that.
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to mention something, but it's like left my brain, Brittany. Oh, I know. Oh, sorry, I muted you. Because there's like feedback when we're both unmuted. Okay, I remember what it is. So you all have heard that, oh, the interest rates are going to go back up into the double digits. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, right? I mean, so Brittany's shaking her head no, so thank goodness. I hope it doesn't. But let's say it did. Okay. One of the focuses at the Abundance Conference, and one of the reasons we wanted to bring a lending partner with us, is the whole focus at Abundance is we want you to get your mindset right so that you can recognize opportunities in front of you. And what I mean by that is no matter the market, including the crash of 2008 and other crashes that have happened, like there was when the interest rates were really high in the 80s, no matter the market, there has always been opportunities. It may be harder to get business, but there are agents out there that are winning the business. So the question is, Is it going to be someone else or is it going to be you? And at this conference, we specifically want to focus on helping you open your eyes to be solution based, like she said earlier, to think outside the box and to recognize the opportunities that are in front of you, right? So, one thing I always like to remember, my parents bought their first home in the 80s. I was born in 84, so it would have been probably like 88. And if I remember right, my dad told me later on, yeah, my first mortgage was like 18% interest. Yes. Yeah, and so the his purchase price was 44 or 45,000, right? So that made it a little bit more palatable. But my point is, no matter the interest rate, no matter the climate, there are people buying.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's easy, right? And then the media, we have to give them a little bit of credit here. I think they also contribute to people being frantic because you've got all of this information coming to you from the news, from social media, from the TikTok of all places. And I am on the TikTok, but like it's a little different. And it's really just it's not always accurate information. And what you're stating is absolutely true. These are not like record high rates. These rates are a little bit new. And I think we've allowed ourselves, just as an industry, some of us to get a little intimidated because we were seeing those really low ones during COVID, but that's simply not the norm. And like you said, there are opportunities. So we'll talk about creative solutions, whether it's these buy downs that we're seeing, the 3-2-1 buy downs, and I'm going to talk about that at the conference. So if you've heard the buzz, but you're like, what is this? Is it too good to be true? How does that work? We'll go over that. But that's a really good tool to kind of have in your pocket to push people off the fence and potentially give people a little more buying power and make them a little bit more eager to jump into the home process right now. But I think, like anything, what comes up will come back down. And it's like you said, is that grit in the meantime of understanding the business is out there. We can't let things intimidate us when it's really not as big of a thing as media makes it sometimes.
I mean, people are looking for an expert, they're looking for a guide. And us as realtors and loan officers, we have the opportunity to be there at this emotional and important time, pivotal time of their life when they're purchasing a home. And I mean, really, if they're wanting to buy a home right now, if now's the time, maybe they have a new baby or they, just got married or there's a job change and there's a relocation going on, what's going on in the market isn't impacting whether they want or need to buy right now. Their life is impacting it. So our job is to be able to be there when they need us and to guide them through the ups and downs of the market, to help them avoid costly mistakes and to make the best decision for them in that moment, right? And so I think that if we kind of change our mindset to I'm a guide, I'm there to serve. I'm there to help, right? I mean, rather than I'm just getting a sale.
I could not agree with you more. I think that's a beautiful outlook, and it's definitely the way I approach my business. That comes deep rooted from my mom. She has always told me for as long as I can remember, if you want to be blessed, it's very simple. You just have to be a blessing. And at the end of the day, again, whether we're talking real estate, mortgage, which piece of this we're in, business is people. That's it. People like to do business with people that they like. And if you find your sphere, find your people. Not everybody is going to be your people, and that's okay. If you're for everybody, then do you really stand for anything? So I think having that confidence of knowing your niche and knowing your clientele and who seems to suit you best, and not to say you can't branch out from that by any means, but that helps quite a bit. And then, like you said, just advocating from them. When I do new home buyer consults and talk to new clients, that's the first thing I say is I use the wedding reference again. I say, just like when you have, you plan a wedding, if you were to hire a wedding planner to help guide this and make it go seamless and make sure your big day is as stress-free and perfect for you, and hopefully secure a couple maybe good deals because they got the hookups with the vendors. That's what a loan officer is going to do. That's what you're going to do as the real estate agent. You're going to kind of help guide them and make something that could be uncomfortable that they've never done before easy to navigate and enjoyable so that they can have that life moment and they don't have those horror stories about the closing table or the purchase contract or whatever happened.
Yes, yes. Well, Brittany, I'm excited to get to know you more and get to see you in person in Orlando. And for those that don't know, tell us what company you represent that's sponsoring this conference.
Yes, so thank you so much. We are National Mortgage Home Loans. We are very proud to be one of the largest and quickest growing brokerages in the country right now. I don't like to put an exact number on it because full discretion, friends, I want to be honest with you and not like inflate where we are, but this is changing every month where we're at, but top 20 at the moment. And then we are expanding to different states. So we are super excited to be part of this and feel so fortunate that you did choose us. This is like my Meredith Grey moment. Like, pick me, choose me, love me. Some of you probably know the reference. But yeah, we're so pumped. So again, National Mortgage Home Loans based here in Troy, Michigan, licensed throughout the country. And I'm so excited to see you all in Orlando and get away from the pure Michigan weather.
Yes. And you have a team in Orlando too, or like in Florida somewhere, right?
So we do. We are working on expanding. From what I understand, this is a Fabian project, but getting an office. So we have people on foot, but we have realtors that we partner with in Tampa. That's one of Fabian's teams. I've been having some fun in Jacksonville, just a little bit, making some friends. And Florida is one of our, I would say, our second biggest state, arguably. But that could be a couple of things. One, we like to go to Florida, but it's this well-known thing in Michigan. I don't know why. We go two places. We
Yeah.
go up north. That's what we call it. It's like just the country. We like
Winter?
to do bonfires, and we go to Florida. So if you're going to operate business in Michigan, you have to in Florida because that's where everyone's going when the weather is like it is today.
Yes. Snowbirds, right? That's what they call them.
No words. You got it.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you, Brittany. And if you that are watching, if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, go to realestatemagamoms.com and click on abundance, and you can grab that early bird price until January 15th. All right. Until then, we'll see you soon.
Bye, Mega
Bye.
Moms.